Fast forward, any come over channel, so AGH Politics Avenue. Podcast or set when because make headlines and a gem need to be exumo. Only any of my young writing simo. Chairman Wontumi na no kasa ye nuanom NDC4 etimeto suja edi egonichim. Say AKONTA mines wadano no. Sisiano evidence bi e wo hobiano. Magada adenti na aban no etwenhwen na ase se obitimi ede na gina mra no na afi ye prosecute no we ni sama hodo a ekoso channel no so amestre se abadwafo transe abra omohwe kwanya aban no bitimi afa so no otu ye garamsi ase efre omanyimu kra ene de mayemu nwansi mu ne hwe ne yeko ene de ba.
We need some new ideas.
Yeah. And talk about the new ideas. Engineer Dr. Ganesh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect. Now, because of the impunity we're seeing growing in amongst these illegal miners, attacking task force personnel who have been set up to clamp down on their activities, the renewed approach to illegal mining after this tragic incident, what should we be seeing?
Well, Alfred, thank you very much. But I think that the person who spoke before me,
that's
I think
Kofi Bento, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. About talking about not just the operational level, but at the root cause. So we definitely need to determine. Yes. So we need to do a determination of the root cause. Mm-hmm. And you know, and again, he put it very succinctly. Galamsey is the firefighters are the arsonists. The politically exposed persons, people with a lot more influence. The president himself agreed with Kofi Bento last year in October when he said it was the kingpins. And that's the reason why in this particular instance, when you have a DC who comes out and tells you, Alfred, that he has initiated an investigation, but goes on to clear the people who are involved in a clear illegality, not only mining, but attacking a state institution. And this is our district and security, chairperson. Yeah. It just tells you the fact that, these people, the organized crime involved in Galamsey, have bought the height of power, or they themselves are now in power. There was a situation in the past, in the primaries leading to this election, where people who were MPP people could cross carpet and come to NDC and use the power of that illicit wealth to be able, to buy power. Mm-hmm. And so not only are they now sponsoring people, they themselves are getting into places of power. And between the NDC and the MPP, there's a lot of illicit Galamsey money in there. So I completely agree with your panelists that says that the same way that when 9/11 happened, we had the AML laws now coming in and not just looking at money laundering, but money laundering that was, going into in and out of terrorism. Mm-hmm. So for us, we need to have a money laundering law that is also focused just on Galamsey, because that is what is happening to it. So this particular DCE, for example, immediately the president should be firing him for incompetence, because even you agree that this DCE says that they were stand winning, stand winning without a permit. Ask them whether they have an EPA permit and all the permits, and then he goes on to clear them and does not see that a police officer had been attacked. That person should, after you've dismissed him, we should immediately get some, investigations into it to find out complicity. This is where the FICs and co would have to come in and look into the monies that are coming to himself and people who are connected to him, from his wife to his children to people who are related to him, and track and trace where the money is flowing from. I just drove from Takwa to Obuasi. And if I look, a cursory count on the number of excavators that are on the side of the road, where there's a lot of, destruction to the land. All of those excavators, what roads is happening between Wasai, Kopong, Dunkwao to Obuasi? All those excavators, are going into destroying our environment. Yeah. And those excavators are not owned by those people you see in the pits. There are rich people who are sitting in government, who are sitting in big corporate offices, and they are funding this. Which banks are giving resources, to do this procurement? So I agree completely, we need to go at the root of this and deal with it. So the question you want to ask, when the Attorney General asks, that the NDC national organizer and the NDC third vice president should be investigated. What have we seen about it? What have we heard about it? When AKONTA mining from 2022 is supposed to be dealt with, and up till now the case has not gone to court. When you have the MP for our win still sitting, in parliament, and I think it's leading some of even the committees of parliament. We have a petition with the president that has been acknowledged, but nothing else has happened to it. When you have the NDC MP for Axim and Dunko, being complicit, and we're not seeing that investigation going on. So His Excellency needs to deal with this, including all those people in the Jubilee House who were mentioned in the Professor Frimpong Boateng's thing. If we don't deal with it at that root level, the operations would fail. So at this stage, in this particular situation again, the issue about the police, any police commander, any MCE, DCE, galamsey happening in your community, you should be dismissed for incompetence first. And then you should be investigated for complicity. Because as I drive on that Yamfuri road, I'm asking myself, on the bridge on the Dunkwao, I said as I'm driving past, I could see people on the Chamfront on the water as we speak. So how is it that the DCE, the MCEs in those communities will tell us that they are not involved? How is it that the chiefs in those communities will tell us that they are not involved? So we need, if we really are going to win this war, it is not about the people who are in the pit. It's not about the people who are being arrested. It is the big and influential people. And gradually they are corrupting our systems. They are taking hold of the height of governance in this country. And very soon, we will become a failed state. So for me, it's important that His Excellency the President, after this thing has hit very close, and he tells us himself that his confidence is also dead in this particular situation, the approach should change. And we have to go at the root cause of this. You need, yes, their roots are sunk and all of that. You need to take it, uproot it, complete. I think with the excavators, we are beginning to handle the new excavators that are coming in.
Right.
But all those excavators that are parked in the Anyamfuri area, we should be giving them up to close to a month for all of them to make sure that they are registered and then they can be tracked. If you don't do that, we should go and confiscate them. We have too much. We should now start exporting excavators from Ghana.
Right.
Because we have too many excavators for what, the large scale miners don't use these small excavators, apart from construction. Most of our road contractors, they don't need that many excavators. So all of these excavators that have been brought in as weapons of mass destruction to destroy you and I, our future. So we've gotten to the point where we now need to say, what is the optimum number of excavators that we need here? And export the rest of them out. Who are the people who are bringing them in? Let's list all of them. So in the particular case, again, of that particular one, if you look at the press release that we came out, and then you have the DCE tell us that did you see them processing the ore? Anybody in the mining area will know that you don't necessarily have to process your ore at the place where you are mining it.
Thank you very much.
You could transport it to another place and go and do it. And this DCE does not know, or he thinks you are so stupid that he tells you that. This DCE, I'm surprised that at this stage, the Minister for Local Government is still letting him sit at post. Whilst they attack an institution of state. So that's why that informs the press release coming from the Ghana Chamber of Coalition, Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey.
Right.
We need to get to the bottom of it and signal to these people who have caused the death of 8 of our citizens in the light of duty that enough is enough.
Indeed. Engineer Kanashbe, thank you so much for this. And I'll give the last word to Ken Officer Abaja, retired. And Lawyer Mercy Jenny says, Galamsey's treason. Everyone involved must be treated as perpetuating such. Well,
normally when the general has spoken, he's not just doctor engineer, he's, General Kenneth Ashbe. What I'm going to say, I've said elsewhere before. And I'm using military ways of looking at things. This Galamsey has a center of gravity. That's an operation. It's, first of all, the financiers, political connections, funding, acquisition of equipment, technologies, and then, if you like, the full soldiers in the pits. My suggestion is to bring it immediately under control, which has been said.
Right.
Let's take the heavy technologies out. Caterpillars, chamfan. And immediately you see an impact. The waters will recover at least stability-wise,
right,
even if the chemicals are there. The aim, which is I call the main effort of the government or the state, must not be to go and arrest those foot soldiers. Let us deploy resources, intelligence, political will, organize task forces from outside of areas and send them in to take out the heavy equipment.
Right.
If needs be, let us buy back some of the caterpillars that are, over and beyond what we need. And as Kofi is saying, let's re-export.
Thank you.
We buy them back because we couldn't stop them from bringing them in.
Perfect.
Buy them back, re-export. And then from there you control the number of caterpillars that come in. And not deport, jail all foreigners.
Illegal mining. Some people openly came out to say that illegal mining doesn't kill. Illegal mining has no health implication for people. People were offering some needless partisan defense for it. But now, thankfully, we are all together. Across the political divide, everybody is saying that illegal mining must be confronted. And so I would say that beyond what is being done, I think more drastic interventions would be required. President Mahama, he had his own nephew murdered because of illegal mining. His own nephew, Major Maxwell Mahama, he was murdered because of illegal mining. Now he has his key appointees, his confidants, his aide. If you know the relationship between Omani Bawumia and President Mahama, you would appreciate what I mean by his key appointees and his confidants. And you have other top servants of the state, 8 of them, all being sacrificed and murdered, all being killed because of illegal mining. I think that the mood, if there is any day, any time for us to all say enough is enough, it is now onwards. That if all these human beings have been sacrificed, if all these human beings have died, then we would need to step up the fight against illegal mining and to win it. And I believe that given the fate that President Mahama has suffered in the hands of this illegal mining, he will do beyond what is being done to confront the issue. Because it is either we destroy Galamsey or it destroys us. True. I mean, Kofi Bento was just telling me that it was illegal Galamsey that led to the destruction, the collapse of Liberia and Sierra Leone. Yeah. So it is either we fight it or we pamper them and allow them to be militant. Tomorrow they get to town with their arms to confront and kill all of us.
Now, you see, what we're saying now, it tells you a certain trend.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So it's either we match up to them. And so, please, we know that people are armed. We know that some people feel that it is a no-go area for them. But like at one point in time, Justice Atiguba said when he was sentencing somebody, he said, now let your force be matched with the force of the states. He was telling the late John, let your force that you think you are too powerful. So if they think they are too powerful, let us allow their powers and their forces to be matched with the force of the state. And let's see who wins. So the point, it appears that even though we are fighting it, I think we've not been angry enough. And I'm saying that we would disappoint those who have lost their lives. They'll be turning in their graves if we don't do much more in ensuring that we overcome this. And I believe that this should be part of the legacies of President Mahama, that it will be said that by the time he exited, the state had its firm grip over illegal mining, and we had tamed it. Look, I was giving an example that a couple of months ago, I was in Geneva for a conference. I checked into my hotel, And then they brought me disposable caps. And I was wondering, what do I need disposable caps for? The following morning, when they came to clean my room, they brought another set of disposable caps. I said, what do I need it for? They said, use it to drink water. I said, but where is the water? I said, the one from the tap. I said, are you kidding me? I should drink water from the tap? I said, yes. I said, but where are the bottled water? The bottled water is not clean. That's what he was telling me. He said the tap water is cleaner than the one in the bottled water. And so here we don't sell bottled water. We ask you to drink from the tap water. Dear Ghanaians, when was the last time you drank from your tap water? The tap water that is supposed to be clean. People go to their washroom and then in brushing their teeth, they go with sachet water. So even the tap water that is supposed to be clean, you cannot drink in Ghana. How about the colored water? And so the earlier we do something about this, the better, because the time is now. Now, like I said, thankfully, there is a certain consensus across the political divide that we cannot allow this to go on. And so let the force of the state be unleashed. And let nobody come here and say, suddenly people who are saying we should fight Galamsey, when the forces of the state begin to be unleashed, then you would have other talkers, people who earn a living just by talking, coming in to say that, oh, you are violating human rights. But are they not violating our rights? That people are now having cancers. People are born with limbs, without limbs. People are having kidney and liver diseases. Are these also not an affront to our rights? And so please, when the real battle starts and the forces of the state begin to be properly unleashed, let there be no one coming up here to say that, but you are violating. Kofi, don't say that you're a lawyer. Nobody should come.
See, Prof,
I'm anticipating. I'm anticipating we discussing and people saying that.
Why do you provoke Kofi?
No, I'm anticipating we discussing.
I understand why
people
he's
saying
going.
that. But why were they beating them? Why were they?
Let me help you. Let me help you. See, I agree with you. Nobody, however, is fighting Galamsey earnestly in this country. Not the previous government, not this government. We've said it, I'm saying it again. This thing that you saw, look, we are pretending to be fighting Galamsey. We are doing sprinkling token actions here and there. And joking around the issue as if we don't know what is going on. There are police people in these mining areas who are bought and paid for. There are DCEs who are supposed to be supervisors of those districts who are mining. There are reports that the military, when they are sent there, they go and they are part of the system. And take just what we just saw, all right? Let me, again, I'm a small city boy. I sit down, I just analyze. Listen, we have people running around in this country and calling themselves national security. And we are making a terrible mess of that thing because we are allowing everybody without ID to go around and call national security. I have had cases where people went into places and routed them and ran people out and called themselves national security. By the time we went through, they were not national security people. But back to my point. And you have a situation where what we just saw, armed policemen go into an enclave to seize an excavator or excavators. And you did not have enough intelligence about the mood of the people in the land, in that space that they were entering, to the extent that those people attack the armed police people. My point is this. If we were doing our national security properly, and we knew that, indeed, one of the major national security problems we have is Galamsey. And indeed, I am told that there are national security operatives in all Galamsey areas. Then we should have anticipated by intelligence that something like this could have happened. And then you will send a proper force, a serious force, that cannot, be attacked. These guys are shooting, and ordinary, townsfolk without arms are, coming at them. My point is, we are pretending to be fighting Galamsey. Because if we really want to fight Galamsey, we will be dealing with it in a more, a mix of intelligence and serious force. And Mr. Bombandi, I was making a point which Prof just made, and you were agreeing with me that, look, in Liberia and Sierra Leone, when Charles Taylor and Co. got up,
Yeah.
and they started fighting from the north, the people they recruited were Galamsey people mining diamonds in the bush. And they were arming themselves, and after a while, they got to the point where they were stronger than the army. They were the ones that Charles Taylor used to run through. And when he was done with Liberia, he started recruiting them from Sierra Leone. And when they had done what they wanted to do there, they just proceeded to mess up Sierra Leone. From Liberia, they just proceeded to mess up Sierra Leone. My point is, we are looking for the past 2 decades, 20 years more or less. We've been stirring this thing and playing fiddles with it.
Right.
All right? Which is why I'm saying we are pretending to be fighting Galamsey. Who does not know that politicians in this country are benefiting from Galamsey? Who does not know that DCs are involved in Galamsey? Who does not know that the security services are complicit? At the highest levels, when we catch people who are doing Galamsey, we just say we'll deport them. And the policy of this government or so has been articulated to the extent that when we catch them, we won't prosecute them, we'll just send them away. And we know that when we send them away, they just come back through the land borders and continue to do their Galamsey. All right? So see, look, it worries me, but I don't see anything that makes me believe we will solve Galamsey. If we have serious national intelligence or what they call national security, they should be swarming in those areas, identifying the kingpins and making sure we are dealing with them decisively. I don't think we are doing so. So I hope the best for this country, but the indications are not clear that will succeed.
So I'll be on keep on. I'm going to have to take a quick break. But when we come back, this is an issue we're still having on the table. Engineer Dr. Ken Ashibe is going to be joining us for a bit as well with his thoughts on this. But a number of your messages coming through here on Key Point. And this one here says, Andy from Tema says, good morning. Contrary to Mr. Kofi Bento's assertion, and as can be seen from the video.
We ain't some who team cause watching on so mamma was so jemre wahada send so bad and don't be adwenia. On your shame na yam for the chinsi and science GH Politics Avenue.